Alright, y'all. I'm gonna walk you through on how to change the starter on my 2006 Yamaha Road Star 1700. I actually made the installation video last night. However, my lighting was completely horrible and you could not see a thing of what I was doing. So I'm going to walk you through on how to do it, but I'm not actually going to pull the starter itself. I will get it all unhooked and show you how to do all that, as well as all the other steps I took. But I'm not disconnecting the battery because I'm not messing with the ground wire running to the starter. So to start out, I got a H5 Allen socket, also a little Allen wrench, my 3/8 ratchet, pliers for the hose clamp, a small 1/2 inch ratchet that gets this oil line off and out of your way. Friday Parts actually partnered up with me for the starter. They have some motorcycle parts and they're getting more and more as we go, but they're known for the industrial and forklift side of things, but they are getting into automotive, ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, things of that nature. The reason why I even wanted to change my starter is I've noticed I was getting a couple weak cranks, but everything else is new and good. And when I would turn my key off, or if I left my key switch on and hit the kill switch, it would do like a zoom when I would shut her down. And that's, to me, seems like my starter was getting hung up. So enough of me rambling on, let's get to it. I'm going to start off by taking these hoses off. Now, sometimes you don't have to take them all the way off. Me, however, I like to take them all the way off and get them completely out of my way. Give it a little twist to maneuver. This hose as well. Now, if you have the right pliers that can get in there, or some angled needle nose, it works a lot better. Alright, got them out the way. And pretty much that H5 Allen socket or wrench will do everything you need it to do. Get you an extension, whether it's a short or a long extension. And then what I like to do is, over here, I take the shift linkage out like that. That way I can get it up and out of my way and not have to worry about anything. Because if not, I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody that does it, has to deal with it, but it'll fight you getting into the starter bolts. I will link FridayParts.com in the description. That way, if you guys are interested, just stop on into their website and see what they got. If it's a more common motorcycle, then obviously you have better chances of them having parts right now. But it's still worth a shot. I do know for the Road Stars, they carry the starter, voltage regulators, things of that nature. Got that unhooked now. Go ahead and slide it up and out the way. I like to put my bolt back into the shift linkage clamp. That way I don't lose it and I know exactly where that one goes. There is a bolt here and here that moves this pipe out of your way. That way you don't have to worry about it hitting the starter or having to fight the starter to get it out. I always like to look at the threads just to make sure ain't nothing going on crazy in there. And since I am not actually completely removing the starter and just walking you through on how to get it out, I'm not going to take this oil line off because there's a crush washer there, and I don't want to ruin it and have to worry about finding a new one and replacing it and all that. But just so you know, let me get this out of the way. This bolt here is a 1/2 inch on mine anyway, and that has to come out to get the starter itself out. But once you get that out, get this out of your way, get them hoses off. What I found easier was just manipulating the shifter a little bit to get these bolts out. Oops. And like I said, I'm not going to take it all the way out. I'm just showing you the process. And the 2 bolts I'm talking about are this bolt here and this bolt here. Once those are out and this is out of your way, you just pop it literally. You might have to wiggle jiggle a little bit because the O-ring seals in there. So once you get it past that O-ring, it comes right out. Take this off. Make sure you disconnect your battery first. Take that off with a 10mm. Obviously pop your cable, that just pulls right on out. You get your new one, you slide it right back in, put that on, and then go back through and put everything back together. Yesterday it literally took me 15 minutes to do all of it. So it's not a hard job. I am mechanically inclined with automotives. I've been self-teaching on how to do motorcycles. Started with my 01 Ultra Classic. I had to rebuild the whole top end, like cam chest and all. So that was a learn as I go type of deal. But I just wanted to walk you guys through on how to do this, since my actual like full length video yesterday you couldn't see anything. It was pitch black in here. Even though I had my garage lights on, there was a shadow over all this. You couldn't see nothing. But once you get that there, go ahead and line your holes back up and you start putting things together, and literally this just pops out. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to ruin that crush washer. You just go through. I start with this back one here because it tends to be the harder one really to get started for some reason. Get her up in there, snug it down. Come to this one. Still gives you a little wiggle room. And once you got them both, pretty snug, hand tight, I'm sure there's torque specs, but back in the day, a lot of the old heads that I've talked to anyway, they went off feel. I've torqued a lot of things on my Harley that actually rattled out, and going by feel, I didn't have that issue as much. But you got to be careful. Don't go monkey balls to it, because you will snap something, and that makes an easy job into a nightmare. Ask me how I know. I do recommend following torque specs, especially if you're new to it. Make sure your clamps get past the little nipples. one of my followers actually pointed out how dark the video was and you couldn't see anything. So when I went back and I reviewed it all, I noticed it was even worse than what I thought. Alright, hoses are on and good. That's good. Clamps are right. Now when you go to put this hose back, line back, make sure you have a crush washer on the back side and on the front side. Always make sure. Just, even if you think you're 100%, double check it. Because I have swore up and down I have put the crush washers back and seen where it was leaking, and then I found out no, I did not. I always go back through, double check what I've taken off. I have been forgetful before. Shift linkage. Make sure you get that little groove lined up on the splines. The reason I haven't used a ratchet on this is because I did that once and I kind of gouged my paint, which isn't a big deal because I am going to repaint this or wrap it this winter. But, you know, if you have a really nice paint job, make sure you pay extra attention and take this panel off here so you do not gouge it, scrape it, scratch it, any of that. Make sure everything's good and tight. And believe it or not, that's how you change the starter in a 2006 Yamaha Road Star 1700. About a 15-20 minute job. The hardest part for me was actually getting this to pop out from the O-ring. That was it. But yeah, you know, a little in-depth quick view on how to swap your starters. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. I'll be sure to answer them. Or if you have any tips and tricks for somebody else that may be doing it for the first time, feel free to comment that as well. Hopefully this is better lighting and hopefully it helps somebody. Much love, God bless. As always, stay safe, y'all.